let's hope this does the trick.
Oh, Lee.
Football.
Can't escape this bullshit.
ESPN, the global leader in sports.
Welcome to the Pop Fantasy Football 2022 Draft Recap, brought to you by PanelsOnPages.com. I'm Jason Nyes, representing the Gotham Rogues, and joining me, as usual, representing DK Metcalf Winstonia, Jose Guzman.
Quest to get my belt back starts tomorrow, baby.
Representing Tell 'em Kelly Eats Band-Aids, Dan Mahoney.
Jose over there with his pants falling down needs that belt.
He is obsessed with belts. You would think his pants fall down all the time.
Oh, I'm going to get so many belts.
And finally,
the champ is here. This is my shit right here.
representing the 2021 Pop Fantasy Football Brooklyn Dark Knight champions, Pop Fantasy Football Commissioner Tito Cruz.
I don't know if I want to go by champ missioner or commission champ.
Okay, now
Still
you
the
do
big-
sound like you stepped away from your microphone.
All right,
There we go. There we go.
there we go.
Better.
Don't be shy. Your mic loves you.
Okay.
He said he couldn't he couldn't get close enough to the mic holding the belt in front of him. It just created distance.
Heavy is the head, you know?
It's so pretty.
So it's Pop Fantasy Football season again, as you probably know, and the 2022 draft is in the books, with a record number of teams opting for auto draft this year. It might have been the quickest Pop Fantasy Football draft in history. So let's get right into the recap. Without further ado, we'll send it over to Commissioner Tito with our 2022 draft recap.
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
Whoop.
It's been a while.
Oh my god.
Love that.
Well, first pick overall went to Kelly with the KellyBot 5000 making his pick. So obviously, just to refresh everybody, we just kind of go inverse of the final standing. So Kelly finished last. Kelly won the Kelly. He picks first. I won the championship. I pick last.
And I don't think during the draft we got a chance to explain KellyBot to people that don't understand. Like, I'm not sure I fully understand KellyBot 5000.
I think Mahoney might be the only one who understands.
I mean, Kelly lost, came
Right.
in last, and so he had two options. He could either go through a round of chemo, or he could face a year banishment from the league. And so off he went. But obviously, with a year banishment, we're not going to go recruit someone else and be like, would you like to join our fantasy football league? And you can only do it for a year because then you got to go. So we put it out. You remember Fiverr? Remember the website Fiverr?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you pay somebody $5 and they'll do like whatever you want. So we were like, we need a robot. We need a Kelly robot to run his fantasy team. Some random dude out there made us a Kelly bot, and now that's who runs Kelly's team.
Took a break between shooting videos of his wife getting fucked by another woman to create KellyBot 5000.
Whenever you can find the time is when you sneak in the side hustles.
All right, so a quick rundown of the order. So it was Kelly, followed by Mel, followed by Jose, Mary, Goat, Nyes, Mahoney, Jonathan. Johnny.
Johnny Rodriguez.
Johnny R.
Tad, Shark, which is Matt, Vetter, and then myself. That was the order. And then obviously the inverse in the next round, and goes so on and so forth throughout the whole draft.
Also, this is less of a just Mahoney thing. This is more of a Mahoney Tito joint. But explain what happened. How did we get Lee into the Pop Fantasy Football League this year? What the fuck happened?
we had an opening. And as we know, Lee has been, on the periphery. He's been helping Goat run his team. He's been super interested in hearing about the league when we talk about it on the Panels on
Every
Pages
week
podcast.
he loves it.
Every week it's his favorite segment.
July
That's
comes
true.
around and Lee's like, "Yo, what's up? Fantasy football back yet, you guys?"
All
And
just
he's-
all day in the chat, just like, guys, don't forget, do the breakdown tonight on the show.
And he gets so
And
sad
so-
late January when we're done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's like,
It's like,
"You
I
sure
don't
you
know,
guys don't want to do
baseball,
fantasy basketball?
Can you imagine? He'd probably love that.
Fantasy
Maybe we should have him do
XFL.
fantasy basketball with us after this.
82 weeks. That's the
Yeah.
that's the basketball season. 82 weeks.
So we had our opening, and we were like, "Okay, we need somebody to come in." And Lee was like, "Well, I certainly don't want to do it, but something if you can't find anybody, like I'd be willing to do." And we were like, "Lee,
That's funny. How I
kinda
became
feels-
That's how I became HOA president."
Yeah, we were like, "Lee, it kind of feels like you want to do this." And he was like, "No, I don't want to do it. I'm not interested at all. But like, if you can't find anybody, I already picked out a team name, and I'm interested in where I would be drafting." And we were like,
Yeah.
"Okay, well that sounds like you want in." And he insisted he did not, but then he had that T-shirt made up with his team name on it, and so at that point it was like, well, we kind of have to let him in.
By the way, HOA president is another one of his goals.
First, he's gonna form an HOA. He's gonna
Yeah,
found an HOA and then president it.
There you go.
We'll call him El Presidente, Lord Reverend Lee Rodriguez.
And let me correct myself real quick because my sports nerd brain won't let me move on. There's 82 games in a basketball season, not 82 weeks.
You sick fuck.
It's like a. That's why they do it as like school year seasons. They're like, this is the 2022 to 2024 basketball season, 82 weeks.
Well,
so that's how Johnny Rodriguez got in.
we all comment on how ESPN shows his name as Johnny Rodriguez, and he's like, "Oh fuck! Well, it's probably because it's the same login I used for the Disney cruise."
I'm like, yep. It's
Well,
all
no,
the same.
first he goes, "Why is the website calling me Johnny?" And it's like, you told it to. The website only does what you tell it to, Lee. We're not at the point in Terminator when the robots can talk to you like real people. Like, they're going to call you whatever you tell them to call you.
There was that one AI that started throwing out slurs.
No, that was the corn kid at that festival.
No, it was not. Just calling everybody crackers. Crackers.
Let's go over some team names here. If anybody's changed their names, we only have a few.
I
Right.
hope Vetter changed his fucking name.
I
No.
will be changing mine by the
As
first
of yet,
game.
no. So we have Cyberspace Calibot 5000, and Mel is going by MILF Hunter, but
Love
for
it.
some reason the system won't let him spell out MILF.
I get it. I did speech to text today, and fucking Facebook censored me.
I checked with Mel. He's actually going by MILF Hunter. MLF.
And did
No.
he
Yeah.
did draft Zach Wilson, right? That's the joke.
He did,
He
and then
did, but they dropped him.
dropped him.
Ah,
Well, I can't blame him. He's out for the next 4 weeks. Why are you gonna carry guy? Why are you
I
gonna
mean-
carry that dead weight?
still hunting.
Yeah, sure. It gives him 4 weeks of free hunting time. And then you have
he's ready in 2, but he's telling them 4.
Lee's team, chicken skin duffel bags.
That's pretty good.
Is it? It's just.
Did you know what I like about that? If Lee comes in last, it's like super easy to be like, great, you got to eat a duffel bag full of chicken skin. Like, that's a really quick and easy punishment.
Is
He's
he
gonna go
talking about
done.
ball
That's
sacks?
a Tuesday night for Lee.
He's like, punishment? I just ate one.
My goodness. I'm not changing my name. I don't give a fuck.
I'm not changing mine either. Mine is tradition.
Yeah.
Mine's coming.
So
I think about
But-
changing mine every so often, but
I
you
think about it and it goes away very quickly.
yeah.
Let's see.
I love my name.
Jose, are you looking to do a mashup of some of your players for your team name?
Yeah, because
Again?
that has gone well for me, but I will be. Yeah, I it hasn't struck me yet. I'm almost there. I'm still workshopping it, but I'll get it.
Hang on, I'm opening your team now.
I see you got Justin Jefferson, the Jeffersonian
George
who
Jefferson.
else? We'll figure it out as we go along.
We're getting there.
So,
I'm gonna get my
what-
Jefferson strut on.
One thing about this year's draft, especially the first round, very wide receiver heavy. So that brings me to you, Jose. Why, since you picked the first wide receiver, why Justin Jefferson and not a Cooper Kupp?
I don't think Cooper Kupp's going to have the same year because I think he's going to get a little bit more attention than last year. They got a couple more weapons added that may spread it around a little bit more. And Justin Jefferson has been pretty good. And I was also a little shook because I was for certain Eckler would have fell in my lap at 3.
So who did you think Mel was going to take? You think he was going to take Henry?
Anybody else but Eckler.
Hmm.
Henry, possibly McCaffrey.
I honestly, I wouldn't have been surprised if Mel took Debo because he's the big 49ers fan.
True.
Drafts their defense first.
Right?
Yeah, but Debo, you can get back on the second round. You don't necessarily.
I agree, but
Snag
Mel
him
was
first.
drafting, 12th round flyer picks in like round 9, so he was all over the place.
And Mary took Derrick Henry, which I was happy to see her take that, even though I know Goat was not picking.
Well, yeah,
right
it was
after
just
her.
a domino after that. I lost my guy. Mary lost her guy. Goat lost his guy. Back to back to back.
Yeah, it was a human centipede of getting fucked.
Now, Nice, did you think Cup was going to fall to you, or you thinking you were going to take a running back?
Man, I
sixth
tell
spot?
you what, this draft, I went in with the least amount of preparation. I didn't even, because I was using my draft as like the screen share for the podcast, like I didn't even cue anyone because I didn't want to reveal to anyone else who I was interested in if you like peeked at the screen. So I just fucking I basically went to whoever was higher ranked and what I needed every round.
So just to go quick rundown of the first round, Jonathan Taylor went out. I'll go 1 through 12. Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Justin Jefferson, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase, Najee Harris, Dalvin Cook, Alvin Kamara, Stephon Diggs, and I took Devontae Adams with the 12th pick. I didn't think Adams was going to fall to me. That I thought he was going to go. Once I saw the little splurge on wideouts, I didn't think, especially like somebody with Kamara with the suspension possibly looming over his head. I didn't think he'd go 10th, but I think that might have been an auto pick for him.
No, Matt Shark, he was there.
Okay.
I agree. I
was
didn't. I
there on
wouldn't have
and off.
taken Kamara at 10, but
Well, it either was.
Shark
I
did seem
mean-
to be having internet problems. He kept going in and
In
out
and
of the
out.
draft, and I
Right.
feel like the app was having problems. I know Goat mentioned that.
So look, wide receivers in the first round: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I don't remember. This is the 11th year of our draft. This is the most wideouts that have gone on the first round. Easy.
yeah.
It's just there's such a
And no
steep
quarterbacks. No
there's such a
quarterbacks in the
steep
first round.
drop off from like the top 10 wide receivers to like the top the second 10 11 through 20. Like the projected points, it's wild. Sure, the running backs are few and far between, but
But it's also becoming a passing league, and they want high scoring.
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're protecting the quarterback more, so they're upping passing yardage, and a lot of these running backs can catch. It's pass heavy right now.
Mel in the chat, Shark, if something happens to Kamara, you have to blame Mel. Mel in the chat says Kamara is good for the year, most likely.
There's
conflicting reports on whether he'll get suspended or not this year. I think if they wait out, the whole due process part of it, it probably won't happen this year, and it'll probably happen next year. He's right about that.
I forget what is he roped into?
DUI.
He got into the fight in Vegas.
Yeah, it was a DUI in a fight, wasn't it? Wasn't it a combo?
Yeah, they like beat the shit out of somebody, and I
There's
think
reports that
when they
somebody
left-
might have footage of him punching the dude.
Oh my God, sounds like an AEW post show scrum.
Uh-oh. Come to find out the whole thing's a work. It's him and his agent.
Now, if that footage comes out, he definitely gets suspended. If that's true and that footage gets out, he definitely gets suspended.
Oof, I do have a piece of him in 1 or 2 of my leagues. So rooting for next year, baby.
I mean, that's really one of the cool intangibles of fantasy football is you never know who's going to get arrested for something.
Well, yeah, you want to talk about like everyone had Antonio Gibson like off the fucking radar. He was being put back to punt returns, and fucking everyone is 2 bullets away from losing their starting job.
One attempted carjacking away from.
Yeah, and that's true in football and any other job.
Yeah. You are 2 bullets away from losing your job.
Somebody shoots me with 2 bullets, I'm not going to work either.
Nope.
So
nope.
if we move on to the second round, I continue wide receiver Palooza and pick up Debo with the 13th overall pick.
And that's not a bad.
Yeah, I love how you're like, hey, you can get Debo in the second round. You took him with the first pick of the second round.
No, that was Jose said that, by the way, not me.
Yeah, but he got him in the second round. It was in the second.
My thing there was to go to have 2 wideouts. So now I have Debo and Devontae, one and 1A.
You just committed.
Right. So it was either commit to that or take a chance on DeAndre Swift or Joe Mixon or one of these other running backs.
Yeah,
But
I like the move. If I was you, I would have gone Devontae Adams and Debo over Swift and Mixon. So
That's where it happens
I
on
get
these like 10 to 12 man league drafts is those last spots. Your big value is going stud wide receiver almost.
Or if I was able to 1-2 running back would have been like, but it would have to be 2 really solid guys. It would have to be 2 of those guys in the first round that obviously didn't drop down to me. But with our draft and our history of our draft, you never know what's going to drop down to you.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
The running backs this year, I think the running backs this year are going to be weird. This is my prediction for the year. Because you got Eckler, cool. Jonathan Taylor had a massive year last year, and how often do you see somebody have a massive year the year before and then not repeat it? Like,
Well,
Sure.
You look at their workload. Look at the amount of carries he has. That usually kind of determines.
right. And so carrying that forward, Derrick Henry had like a shit ton of work.
He might
Got hurt.
be the exception.
We'll see.
Yeah, but no, he's a different guy. But he was also out.
Right?
But it was like a fluke foot break, which is something he can come back from. It wasn't like knee. You know what I mean? It wasn't
see.
Achilles.
All
We'll see.
I'm
But
saying.
anyways,
He
like
has
we
two
can
trunks
agree,
for legs, man.
Jonathan Taylor, slight chance, like at least a consideration that he worked too much last year, won't be as good. Derrick Henry, there's at least a consideration that either the injury or the workload will catch up to him and he won't be as good. Christian McCaffrey is, odds are he'll be hurt. He won't be as good.
What'd you
You
call
got
him?
Najee
Glass,
Harris.
Glassjaw McCaffrey? Or Goat called him
John
that.
McCaffrey. Najee Harris had a huge workload. Odds are he might not be good. Dalvin Cook hurt all the time. Solid chance he might not be good. Kamara might be in jail. And those are the running backs in the first round. So like every running back in the first round, other than Eckler, carries at least some sort of doubt of, is this guy really going to come through for me?
I think the Chargers are going to have a fucking monster year.
That's some people's pick for the Super Bowl for the whole thing.
I mean, it was a new coach, new system last year. And when they fucking clicked, they were unstoppable. But there was a lot of unclicking. But that unclicking process, I think they've gotten through that. And Justin Herbert has just improved each fucking year.
Yeah. That
And
kid is going to be really good.
Eckler's Eckler. And then you
He
got
just
Mike
has to stay
Williams
healthy.
coming.
He's another guy who gets
Exactly.
hurt. Eckler's
Yep.
always another guy who misses like 2 to 3 games every season.
He wants to go home and hang out with his TikTok girlfriend.
Who's his TikTok girlfriend?
Melanie Wilkin.
Well, haven't we seen them do videos together?
Yeah, I think we have.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks to Mahoney.
Yeah.
All right, so the rest of the second round went running backs and then wide receivers. And then Nyes broke the seal on tight ends. And
No
took
Gronk
Mark
this year,
Andrews.
so I gotta pick early.
So Mark Andrews went with the 7th pick in the second round. And right after him, Goat says, fuck it, I'm taking Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I should have picked Kelsey.
Yeah, looking forward, but again, that's when your game plan changed. But if that would have been your game plan all along, Kelsey would have been the move.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I picked Andrews before I got to Mahomes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Smart.
So smart. And then I did what like Tito was talking about. Well, hold on. Mary took Mike Evans.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Tampa. So Tampa Bay still staying in the Nyes household and strong. And then I kind of did what Tito did was Jefferson fell to me. I didn't get Eckler. I wanted Eckler. But I got Jefferson. So I'm like, all right, well, that's number one. Let me get a guy with heavy upside and can catch the ball a lot, who may be the new Kamara. We will see. Devontae.
I feel like the
But Javonte
Broncos this year with Russell Wilson at quarterback might kind of do like Brady going to the Bucks. You know, we don't know what to expect.
Yeah, he has Judy. He has Javonte Williams. He has some young weapons around him
And the Broncos weren't bad last year. I mean, you know, they were, but at the same time, it's like injuries and no stable quarterback position. But they got a solid team. Now you're putting a general behind them who can fucking sling the ball.
Then Mel picks up Barkley with the second to last pick. If he stays healthy and has just a decent year with Barkley and Eckler as his 1-2 punch at running back, that's scary.
That was my want. Like Barkley wasn't coming back to him.
No. No, he was not.
I appreciate Lee picking Tyreek Hill at 5 in the second round. Another one I'm interested to see his production level, because on Kansas City he was one of many weapons, and you send him to Miami, when they gonna triple team him?
Yeah,
but they hit Miami has many weapons too. On paper, if you were to draw them up in the sand, they're similar.
See, I'm more worried about Tua's ability to throw to him.
Well, they're similar on the others everywhere but quarterback.
Right.
They have similar talent. Like their backfield, Kansas City backfield is not great. And Miami's is about where they're at. You know what I mean? They got almost the same people. And then if you look at their receiving core, outside of Kelsey and Tyreek, nobody else was consistent. Everybody was in and out of that motherfucker.
Sure.
So now you look at Miami, you got Waddle, who was more consistent than anyone outside of Tyreek Hill when you look at the wide receivers. And who else do they get? Because they let go of Fuller. Is Fuller still on there? I don't know what's going on with Fuller.
Or is he suspended like he always is at the start of the season?
Or hurt. He's got a pulled suspension.
Nobody drafted him. I don't. He doesn't rank on any boards. So
I remember when Tyreek Hill initially went to Miami and they were doing some drills or practice or whatever, and then he gets interviewed and he's like, "Oh my God, Tua has the greatest arm I've ever seen on a quarterback." I was like, "God damn!"
He is so butthurt that he got traded to Miami that he took every chance to shit talk the Chiefs.
Yeah.
He could.
Yeah. I mean, I would say the exact same thing too if I was just trying to piss off Mahomes.
Yeah.
It's like, ooh, my new girlfriend sucked dick so good.
Yeah, exactly. She's in the background like, I never sucked you off. It's like, shut up.
Shut up, bitch.
Stay with it.
So we move on to the third round. Still all wideouts and running backs here. Ezekiel Elliott. This is probably the latest I've ever seen him drafted. Round 310 in the third round, 10th in the third round. And the first quarterback comes off the board when I take Josh Allen at 12. So
As
my
MJF
thinking.
says, the greatest quarterback to ever live.
Right. So here's my thinking. When you pick 12 and then, 1 or in the next round, so 12 and 13 essentially, there's a huge wait before you pick again.
Yeah.
So you sometimes you
wait.
can't wait and think that somebody else is going to get back around to you.
No, because this is where it starts coming down to, if you want a guy,
Get it.
sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta take him no matter who's available to
Right.
you, because he
Right.
is not coming back.
Coming back.
That is a lot of picks to pray, and more often than not, you'll be bitten in the butt, being like, "Nah, he'll come back to me. Let me take this guy instead."
The other reason why I went Josh Allen there is because my first 2 rounds I went wide out, and the value for like a running back for me wasn't there.
Yeah, you drafted a running back
not in
who
the
throws
same value that Josh Allen's going to give me.
Mhm.
So I was like, fuck it, I have to take the number 1. I can't have a top level running back at this point because they're all off the board. So I'm going to have to take Josh Allen.
You're not getting a number 1 position anywhere else. The top 2 tight ends are gone. The top running backs are gone. The top wide receivers are gone. But nobody's picked a quarterback.
Yeah. I mean, the next running back drafted after you took Josh Allen, no one took a running back until the next round when Mel took Damian Pierce and Jose took Elijah Mitchell.
No, 2 rounds.
2 rounds later.
That was where he's talking.
Oh, yeah.
third.
Yeah, because
He's
I guess,
talking
yeah,
the
he was
third.
the end of the third.
This is
Yeah,
it.
so
Running
the
backs
whole
weren't-
4th round, no running backs. Yeah.
because I went the same way as Tito when it came down to my pick in the 4th. Was I took Keenan Allen in the 3rd because I'm like, okay, let me alternate. I'm going to go top wide receiver, a good running back, and then I'm going to get another top wide receiver, and I'm getting the quarterback I want because he is not coming back to me
Yeah.
that late. And I fucking snagged Herbert because once Tito grabbed Allen, I'm like, I've done fucking 4 other drafts where Herbert got snagged from me. It's not happening in this one.
So let's go over really quickly round 3 and some of the interesting picks here. So you got Cam Akers, who was picked 5th in the 3rd round. A lot of people questioning his status and how he's going to come back. Mahoney listens to TikTok, and they're not very high on Cam Akers.
TikTok
We're,
does not
um,
like Cam Akers.
I will agree with. I'm hearing the same thing. I can back up Mahoney's TikTok on that one.
They're not only are they saying they don't know if he's going to be, healthy, but they're like, that might be a share. Like, he might not even be the
With Daryl
featured
Henderson.
guy. Like,
because they're just, the word is the explosiveness is not there like it used to be. Which is it's an Achilles injury.
Mel in the chat says if it makes Jose feel better, I was going to pick Justin Herbert right after him in the 4th.
And that is why it was my pick. It was especially since I got Keenan, because my goal this year was try to pair a something with my quarterback, either a running back that caught the ball a lot or a top wide receiver. Once I got Allen, I'm like, the next pick's Herbert. If he's there, I'm fucking taking him.
Yeah. So I open up not the floodgates, but I open up the door to the quarterback run because in the 4th round, Nice takes Mahomes and Jose takes Herbert.
Oh yeah, I forgot he took Mahomes first, and then I was like, definitely,
Yeah.
because if Allen and Mahomes are off the board, Herbert is the next quarterback taken by anybody. Whoever takes the next quarterback, it is Herbert.
I never even considered that I would get Mahomes because, Mahomes is drafted pretty early in the past few years. So I saw him as top QB at that point. I'm like, fuck it, why not?
Listen, in the past, we've always had a quarterback. This is might be the first draft where we don't have, or the first one in a while, I should say, where we don't have a quarterback in our league taken in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's usually Mahomes.
Or
Brady.
Or Brady. It's been Brady in the past. It's been Mahomes. It's been Rodgers. Rodgers has been drafted in the first round in our league.
Yeah, but we also have
Rodgers has gone undrafted in our league.
What a fucking waiver wire pickup that was. Aaron Rodgers, MVP, ayahuasca champ of the world, there on the waiver wires for the taking. And everyone's like, meh, I don't like tea. And he said, I like tea. You're on my
Then
team,
you have
guy.
2 Denver wideouts taken in the 4th round with Mahoney taking Cortland Sutton
Which it might be big.
and Mary taking Jerry Jeudy.
Big news if true.
I wanted Cortland Sutton. This is one of the only times where I was like, okay, here's like 4 guys I want, and I got all 4 of them. I was very pleased.
Ooh, that's a nice. Then after that, you're like, fuck it, auto draft.
Yeah, basically. Then I got to the
What?
end of my list and was like, I don't give a shit about any of the rest of these people. I don't know who to take.
I done got mine. Yeah, in another league, I was able to stack Russell Wilson, Javonte Williams, and Cordell Sutton together.
Nice.
I'm hoping that brings big booms.
So we move on to round 5, where more quarterbacks come off the board. Joe Burrow, Joe Shiesty, Joe Brr, Tom Brady.
Joe Burrow rumored to have landed TikTok gymnast Livy. She posed next to a poster of him, and everybody was like, "Ah, yes, they've hooked up."
That's how TikTok works.
That's how it works.
Okay.
Why else
So-
would she pose next to the
Well, the
picture?
picture
of
Bunch
a
of
was him
detectives
naked
on
with-
TikTok.
Burrow went to Mary. Goat picked up Brady.
Which how good is that when your homer picks are awesome people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if she would have got Jamar Chase or Joey B or Mixon as a homer pick, those are all fucking solid.
And Shark picked up Aaron Rodgers towards the end of the 5th round. All right. Mel
Could
took
be a steal.
Damian Pierce, who was just named the starting running back. I mean, obviously it was rumored that he would be, but the starting running back out in Houston. So that's going to be interesting to see what their whole situation is.
That was an early pick for him too, and like,
Yeah, but he wasn't going to be there.
I know.
Because
I'm
you
surprised
see
he
who
didn't
I
go with
took?
Mitchell. But I'm surprised he didn't go with Mitchell. I'm surprised he didn't go with your pick.
And that's why I took Mitchell was because he took Pierce. If he would have, I was almost counting Mitchell, and I was taking Pierce that round. And then he snagged Pierce, and I'm like, well, fuck you, buddy,
Wild.
Mitchell.
And then Nyes has a really good pick. I'm not a very high on the Jets, but Nyes' pick of
Yeah.
Brees Hall.
Yeah.
That is somebody to look out for.
When I saw
That could turn out
him
well.
ranked highest when it came to my turn, I was like, who? And also the
Well,
Jets?
He's a rookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take a chance on a Woofy.
yeah, on a Wookiee.
Give it that
You gotta let everybody in the NFL knows you gotta let the Wookiee win.
Lee's pick here and J.K. Dobbins is interesting because they've been really quiet and shady about his status and his health.
Plus, I don't want any running backs out of Baltimore ever.
Yeah. No. You guys are gonna have to prove me something. Y'all gonna
Yeah.
have to play a season before I even touch anyone running.
Yeah,
the ball.
that's the type of
That's
thing.
not
Like,
Lamar Jackson.
if Lee picks up J.K. Dobbins and he has an amazing, if he comes in as like the running back 3 for the year, it's like, wow, congrats, never saw that coming. You know, like you don't even get jealous or mad about it because you're just like, nope, wouldn't have taken that risk.
Mm-mm.
Yeah,
And then I take
he's
my
saying
first.
he's fine and ready to go. Everyone else is like,
Mhm. I take my first running back at the last pick of the 5th round with Devin Singletary because I needed a running back. So then I
Which-
go 12
mean-
and go ahead.
Getting any piece of Buffalo is
Right.
not bad.
And he catches a lot of balls out the backfield. I have Josh Allen, so I kind of
So you do have that stack. Yep.
And then goes to the first round, and then I get another wideout in Amon-Ra St. Brown. One, because I love the man's name.
Yeah.
Great name.
And
Two,
he may have a
because
fucking
he
sweet year.
won me my championship last year. He
Yep.
was a late waiver wire pickup and did work towards the end of the season that got me in.
Respect. Yeah, I did find myself drafting a couple guys I had last year. I was like, you know what? You guys produced, but I think you're going to produce better this year.
So it was
I'm
between
definitely
him
on that
and Gabe Davis, and I said that on the draft, and Mahoney's like, you know what? I'll take Gabe Davis. Thank you for not drafting him.
No, Gabe Davis was on my list. So you're sitting there wondering who you want to get, and I'm like, that guy's name looks like a Thundercat. That's a cool name. Like, why don't you go get him? Leave my guy alone.
And then here's an interesting pick.
Oh no, you were like, I don't know if I need another Buffalo Bill, and I'm like, you definitely don't. You got too many already. You should move on. It's another team.
Yeah, I didn't want to go 3 on Buffalo.
Yeah.
Not for Gabe Davis. If it was like maybe obviously a Stephon Diggs, I would have gone.
Yeah.
But not for the second string, not the second wideout.
Well, if Stephon
Or Bill
Diggs was
D.
down there at pick 60, I would have been shit talking him so hard so
Yeah,
I
no
could grab
shit.
him at 66.
I would be shitting my pants. Like, how did that even happen?
And then one interesting pick is Shark picking up Juju Smith-Schuster. So this is his first year in Kansas City. No Tyreek. Is he gonna be the one to fill those shoes?
He hasn't been that. He hasn't been in the opportunities. In the opportunities, he has had to be the one. He has yet to do that. But if there's
No, he did.
any
He did for a
chance-
while.
Yeah, but pretty well is not what everyone was expecting. though.
But here's the thing: Kansas City's changed. They've had to have changed their offense, right? Remember, the beginning of the last year, they were playing too deep, so they were taking away Tyreek Hill's deep passes. So they had to go to the underneath stuff. If they
Well, that's
keep
what I'm
with
saying.
that,
is-
you still have Hardeman who can fly, so he'll be your deep guy to take the top off.
well,
the
you got
defense. And
MVS too who
Schuster,
can fly.
right? And then Schuster's going to kind of run those crossing routes, those underneath routes, and stuff like that. I think that's where he's going to make his money. I think that's where he's going to get his balls and his receptions from.
This is the best chance he has to prove who he is. Because if you can't be good with Mahomes, who can you be good with?
And
He's got
if
opportunity, and he's not the one. He's not the one. Kelsey is the one.
right. And you know what? Better
Kelsey's the
Mahomes than staying in Pittsburgh and getting balls thrown from Trubisky.
Yeah.
Can you believe
Let's ride.
that fucking Mitch Trubisky is the starter for the goddamn Steelers?
Fucking hire Jay Cutler while you're at it. Fuck it.
Lee picks up Kyler Murray, who's good for like week 1 through 7.
Yep.
Yep.
The new Call of Duty comes
watch
out
out,
week
not
8.
over.
Lee was so excited about that. I am determined to convince Lee that his name is Kyle Murray. So that every time Lee talks about him, he calls him Kyle Murray.
God damn it, Kyle.
And
He's
just
gonna have a
picture
shadow
him at
account.
work, be like, "Yeah, I got Kyle Murray on my team." Somebody being like,
No. Oh, first of all, Lee does not speak to his coworkers. Second of all, he certainly wouldn't bring up
Yeah,
that he's
Lee
in a
talking at work.
fantasy football league.
We'll see.
Maybe it's
So-
it's the one in with the boss. He's up for his raise, and he knows the boss is a real big football fan.
Yeah, and the
And he's
boss
like,
is
"You know
like,
what?
writing the check, and then Lee's like, "Yeah, I'm
He's
really
an
riding high
Arizona
with
fan.
Kyle Murray." And he's like, "Wait a minute."
There's a picture of him shaking his hand with the signed ball, like hanging behind him in his office. And he's like, oh shit, this is my in. Like just Kyle Murray, memorabilia everywhere. And he's like, dude, I just drafted Kyle Murray last night. He's like, who'd you just say? Kyle Murray.
Jose, why go with
Minnesota
Michael
wide
Thomas?
receiver.
Why go Michael Thomas there? You picked him 10th.
I went Michael Thomas because I took him late last year to stash for the playoffs.
And he did
and
not.
It didn't work out. So going back to, I think I had a good team last year. I was just a year too early. So we're giving it another roll. And I got, like, I had Mitchell last year. I had Javonte last year. I think I may have had fucking Keenan Allen last year. I had Michael Thomas last year. So we'll see how that happens. We'll see if I'm right.
All right, so we'll go to round 7 where Nines picked up Antonio Gibson, as Jose mentioned earlier.
Ah, shit. I thought I got Antonio Brown. Fuck.
I mean, there's still a chance to pick him up, waiver wire.
Yeah, I mean, he might make a return. Who knows?
And the first New England running back comes off the board to Jose with Ramondre Stevenson. No hesitation with taking a New England running back there, Jose?
Not a guy that I think could be. Remember when they had LeGarrette Blount and he had that amazing 1 year?
Yep.
I think this could possibly be that year for him. Because with Mac Jones, that's a different offense. I think they're going to be all right. They're going to be all right because he went back to what he tried doing with Gronk and Aaron Hernandez with a 2-stud tight end kind of set kind of thing. He's got the running backs he likes. Hopefully they finally got some fucking wide receivers this dude can throw the ball to. They're gonna move the ball.
And best case scenario, they get a Super Bowl, but one of them becomes Gronk and one of them becomes Aaron Hernandez.
Flip of the dice. How much is that Super Bowl worth?
Now, is Michael Thomas starting week 1? Do you know that, Jose?
In my lineup or like in general?
In general.
He is questionable currently.
I don't know. He's still questionable. So I don't know. I got until Sunday to figure that out. I have nobody playing Thursday. So I got plenty room of flex. Yeah. But I might just leave him on my bench and show me what you got game 1. Earn your way into my fucking starting lineup.
All right. Then Mahoney picks up a great pick. Sorry to cut you off, Jose. At 7 with Allen Robinson second.
Yep.
Allen Robinson going from Chicago to the Rams. That could be huge for him.
Mm-hmm. Especially if Cooper Kupp doesn't have that same year because he's getting triple
Well, the coverage is going over him. Yeah, right.
And they're not used to having an Allen Robinson to worry about. And Allen Robinson hasn't really been that guy to worry about the past 2 years. So some people may have forgotten who he could be. He'll remind them probably.
I'm pretty excited to have him.
Moving on to round 8, my first regret of the draft. I took Rashad Bateman. In hindsight, I probably would have liked Alan Lazard in that spot. Just because Baltimore wideouts aren't that secure, and Rodgers has to throw to somebody. Somebody's going to get those balls that Devontae didn't get, or isn't there.
And who's going to have more passing yards at the end of the year, Rodgers or
Right.
Rodgers talking shit on his rookie wide receivers.
Tough love, baby.
Yeah, he's always been hard on his wideouts.
Catch the fucking ball, dipshit.
Hey, yeah. You know how you don't hear me talk shit about you in the fucking press conference after practice? Don't drop the ball.
Yeah. You want to be Aaron Rodgers'
Catch the
best
fucking
friend?
Ball I'm throwing you.
Catch a ball.
Yeah. You know why me and Devontae Adams were cool as shit? He caught the ball.
Mm-hmm. Same thing with Olivia Munn.
Caught the balls.
And then here's where Mahoney takes his first quarterback in Russell Wilson. Well, his
I
only
gotta say,
quarterback.
I feel
Which is
pretty good
fucking
about getting
solid.
Russell Wilson with pick
In eighth.
90.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is solid.
Like,
That's a sleeper.
Dak Prescott was off the board. Like, Russell Wilson was still there, and somebody took Dak.
Mhm.
Like,
Which is, like, if
Better
you
took
don't
Dak.
get...
So Dak
if you
Dak
don't-
went, Stafford went, then Russell Wilson.
That's a lot before.
and
Because if you don't
earlier
get
rounds,
those first three guys, Mahomes, Allen, and Herbert, like, hoping someone like Russell fall into you late, that's the move. You want to load up on the other guys and hope you can get him late. So that was fucking perfect.
yeah. And then to take Russell Wilson when I got Cortland Sutton, I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
stacking now. So
I was very pleased with that.
the reason why now we're in round 8. So the reason why I asked you about the status of Michael Thomas is because then, Jose, you take DeAndre Hopkins, who's out for the first 6 weeks with a suspension.
Hopkins, yeah, but here's my thought on that is I have where the fuck? I got the wrong team open.
You got Jefferson. You got Keenan Allen. You got Michael
Yeah.
Thomas.
So I got Jefferson and Allen.
It's a decent
So
bench wide receiver.
In my eyes, I don't even need a fucking third wide receiver right now. Michael Thomas can go on my bench easy peasy first week. DeAndre Hopkins, if Justin Jefferson and Keenan Allen stay healthy and play like they should, I don't need DeAndre Hopkins right now. DeAndre Hopkins is a nice little, if somebody's injured, if Michael Thomas doesn't turn out, and he ends up coming back bombing towards the end of the season with something to prove, and I got him on a playoff push as a flex. To have DeAndre Hopkins catching all the balls in playoff time as my flex, I'll take that.
I feel like someone would have taken DeAndre Hopkins if it wasn't Jose.
Yeah,
I think Mahoney at
the
some
only
point.
reason
Mahoney or Tito, maybe Mel.
the only reason why I asked is because again he took Michael Thomas, so you had the status. His status is not so certain, and then you're picking somebody else who you know is going to be out for 6
Just
weeks.
fucking rolling the dice, baby.
But again, I did that because of who I have as my starting 2 wide receivers. Because I can also just as easily replace Michael Thomas with my flex with Stevenson from New England, or or one of the later picks. Is it even this round that I took him? No, the next round. Who I got next round? I can throw him in my fucking as my flex. So I was willing to gamble on 2 guys that I didn't think would be there for me later for a playoff push. Or if I got somebody goes down and they're fucking doing well, I'll trade somebody.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like, and also somebody's not killing me with them. Because if I did skip them and then I played somebody in the playoffs and I lost because of one of those 2,
Yeah.
I'd beat myself
For
up
some
because
wild,
my game
like,
plan was
98-yard
to,
touchdown.
Like, get those. Yeah, no, yeah. Oh my God. Monday Night Football, fucking 2 seconds left. They just throw a fucking Hail Mary. He catches it. I lose by 0.5. I'd flip the fucking table.
So move on to round 9, where Mahoney takes his tight end after he joked about, hey, if you don't pick the first good few tight ends, you're gonna get stuck with Cole Kmet.
And then I did. And honestly, at that point, when I saw that Cole Kmet was the best one left, I was like, I mean, I have to.
Yeah, you have to commit to it now.
Like, I can't not pick him after I talked shit about him in like round 2. I don't care. If you do not get one of the top 3 tight ends, if you get 3 points out of your tight end a week, whatever. Like, it's just not a position you can worry about.
Almost,
like, you either have to sacrifice elsewhere and get one of the top tight ends, like Nyes did, and whoever picked right behind you.
Mel got Kelsey.
Yeah, when Mel got Kelsey. You either have to do that, or you have to be like, whatever. Some weeks I'll get 1.5 points out of my tight end. Some weeks I'll get 15, and there'll be absolutely no rhyme or reason to it.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And there's guaranteed to be 1 tight end to 3 to 5 possibly that will blow up on the waiver wire.
Right.
1 to 3 weeks. And then
fall off.
disappear for 1 to 3 fucking weeks.
Yep.
While the guy you dropped blows up for those 3 weeks.
Exactly.
The guy you drafted fucking didn't. And then you're just playing this goddamn waiver wire juggle of tight ends.
Like, I know Tito hates hearing about it, but I am absolutely on team. Just get rid of the tight end spot.
All right.
No one took New Orleans tight end. What's his Taysom?
No, you're right.
Taysom Hill. No one drafted Taysom this year.
No, when he's quarterback again and he's getting those tight end numbers, then somebody's gonna pick him up. Then our first kicker goes off the board at number 10 in the 9th round. Evan Mcpherson. I believe that's a homer pick by Shark.
L. Mcpherson?
Yeah. L. Mcpherson's son. I think she's old enough to have a son in the league at this point.
That'd be wild.
Right.
But something irks me about a kicker that early.
Yeah, because
yeah.
there's like 5 solid ones that will be right around where he's at that you probably could have got 3 rounds later.
Yeah, because nobody else takes a kicker until round 11. Round 9 to round 11.
Yeah, so that's another 2 rounds. And
that's another 2 decent flex options. Or a defense.
Yeah, because I mean, look at who fucking Tito grabbed at the end, Michael Gallup.
Yeah,
which might not, he's not playing now, but when he does come in, that's fucking value right there. That you
which was
my
thought process. I was loaded in wideouts. I don't have a need there per se. So if I could stash him and maybe use him as a flex later or even as a bargaining chip in a trade, I have that.
Yeah. And if you're going to take a kicker in round 9, like, why is it not Justin Tucker?
Yeah.
It's bizarre. And the other, like, kickers
especially
of all people.
If that running game stalling.
Right. One fucking dude launches over the line and hits him in the leg, and that's it. He's all done. It's like, what are you reaching for a kicker for?
You make a kick and celebrate too hard, you're done.
That's 100% a homer pick. He wanted somebody from the Bengals on his team, and I guess that's who he wanted.
Yeah, but
round 10,
did McPherson, was McPherson the one who kicked for them in the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Didn't he miss a couple important kicks that could have made a difference in the game?
Yeah, but during the season, he killed it.
True.
I understand the homer pick aspect of it, but who did he think was going to take him away? You know what I mean? Like, who was coming to be like, oh, I'm stealing Evan McPherson out from under Shark?
It's to your point. Like, everybody knows Tucker's going to go first. Butker's going to go.
Yeah.
Oh, who else?
Yeah, you got some guys before people even looking at them.
Right.
Give it a second.
Matt Gay. Like, I would have taken Matt Gay before I took him.
Daniel Carlson. Yeah. You have quite a number of guys who would have gone before him anyway.
Yep.
I mean, I guess we'll see, huh?
So we go to round 10.
Even McManus that you wound up with, I probably would have taken before him.
I would have taken him before him too. Round 10, we see our first defense go off the board with Mahoney taking the Bills defense.
Yep.
which is not a bad move.
Right after I said that I would go week to week and pick up a new defense every week, and then I was like, or the Bills.
And then here's where Mary gets her quarterback in Derek Carr, which round 10, 9th pick in round 10 is a good value for Carr.
Yeah, I agree.
Not bad. Well, starting a possible top 10 starting quarterback in round 10.
Yeah.
Wait, what about this? The potential MVP went in round 10. If you listen to Michael Irvin, and Kirk Cousins was drafted number 12 in the 10th round by the Kelly Bot 5000.
Oh.
Hey, I mean, Kelly Bot 5000, it's got that algorithm. Maybe Michael Irvin's onto something.
I mean, here's the thing.
He's onto cocaine. That's what he's onto.
For Justin Jefferson to be a great wide receiver, who's throwing it to him?
True.
And the wild thing is, Kirk Cousins' numbers aren't horrible. I mean, they can get better. You like that?
The other defense to go was nice, taking the Buccaneers. Yes. So 3 defenses went in round 10. Bills, Bucks, and the Niners.
Yeah, I had to have some Bucks on my team.
So you start seeing the trend there, right? Like everybody starts kind of jumping on that. Now here's a really good pick by the Kelly Bot 5000 and James Robinson, who is rumored to get a hell of a lot more playing time than was early anticipated. So that might work out really well for the Kelly Bot.
Yeah, possibly. Or the other option is he going to come back like Akers? Not the explosiveness.
And then your next kicker comes off the board in Justin Tucker. Another defense and Mary taking the Packers defense. And then 2 shots, Brian Robinson goes to GOAT. Another kicker in Butker. So here's where, and then I take a defense at the end. Like the run for defenses, I see the run for defense is starting. So I was like, okay, I have to jump on a defense now. If not, I'm fucked.
Just stream them week to week. I drafted the Bucks, but I fucking picked up the Browns on waivers.
And then the Ravens are playing the Jets week 1, and they're starting Flacco. So I'm like, yeah, I'll take the Ravens.
Yeah, that's a reunion Super Bowl that might not go the same way as the Browns Carolina game. We'll see how Flacco might come out and just ball his balls off for one game and just fucking old Flacco playing like Flacco of old.
Flacco of old is on the new Lord of the Rings, I've heard. I'm Flacco the Old. Listen to my riddles 3.
There was one GM who said that he could probably still start in the league for certain teams. I don't see it, but good for him. I take Kenneth Gainwell in the beginning of round 12.
Seattle? Would you start anyone in Seattle over Flacco?
Yeah. Maybe. I might pick somebody else out the stands before I start.
Who's the next Kurt Warner?
Yeah, that should be an option.
Give me your biggest bag boy.
There should be an option when you set your lineup that's just no thank you.
So I start round 12th with Gainwell. Thought process behind there because Philly and Sanders, their relationship isn't that great. Sanders has been hurt. So there's a good potential that Gainwell kind of steals that spot from him at some point in the season. I was thinking Gainwell or Madison, and I stuck with Gainwell, and sure enough, Mahoney comes and takes Madison.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you all were giving me a hard time that I was going to take Madison, and I was like, well, shit. Now I got to get Madison.
Yeah, because me and Tito both thought the same thing.
And your Naheem Hines pick, we thought you were going to take Madison.
Yeah, he's all talking.
I probably should have swapped them. I probably should have reversed those.
Big speech, and me and Tito were both like, "Oh, he's talking to Madison. He's talking Madison." He's like, Hines.
Yeah, well, I don't even like to give the insight, but you both were like, "Oh wow, I thought you would have said Madison." and I was just silent.
And then he just
I
started
was like,
sweating.
well, shit. Yeah. So when you hear me just clam up, that's when you're like, he is
I'm onto
after him.
something. I got him.
Mahoney,
Yeah, Mahoney
back off
called
your
a
mic
couple of
just a
my
tiny bit.
early-
All right.
Some of my early picks he called.
I did a pretty good. I wish I could write it down somewhere. Like I should write it down, but I did a pretty good job guessing your picks.
It's just when you build that rivalry,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just used to paying attention to certain people's teams, you kind of pick up their tendencies,
Their
and
tells.
how they like to fill their rosters out and shit.
Exactly.
And you're like, what guy available matches this dude's personality right now?
In round 12, GOAT, this is a pick to watch out for. Donta Foreman,
Yeah.
who is the Carolina running back, who if Glass Joe, a.k.a. Christian McCaffrey, goes out, is the guy who's going to take a lot of those carries.
Smart.
Mm-hmm. And Jose got a good defense in the Chargers in that round as well.
Well, I kind of eyeballed them, hoping that once the Bills D went, I'm like, okay, so let me look at the defense. I think the Chargers were rated kind of low, but they had a night. They got Khalil Mack, and they again part of like just the team being better this year. They did what they needed to be better. So I was like, let me just hope they're still around and try to get some other people and hope I can just grab these guys late. And then it started once the defenses kept going. I couldn't wait any longer. And Mahoney took Madison, which was my thought. I was like, well, shit, he took Hines, so maybe he might not need Madison. Madison will fall to me. Did not happen. So I was like, fuck it, pull the trigger. Defense, let's go.
And round 13, we got like some. Now you're picking your kickers, your defenses, your backups to your backups.
Real
your,
bottom of the
gamble.
barrel shit.
This is where you start reaching and start gambling a little bit here. So
It's
some
when you start
defenses-
looking around and you're like, oh, that guy's still in the league, huh? Good for him.
Right. So defenses that went off the board are Cowboys and Colts and Steelers went in this round. Then kickers, Nick Folk. I'm surprised Folk went that high to you. I'm surprised you didn't take McManus. I'm surprised you didn't take Bass. I'm kicking myself for not taking Bass. And
I
took
didn't
McManus.
notice Bass was there.
Yeah, you know what? Same, because I
Yep.
picked and didn't take Bass, and then I saw him go and was like, "What? Where the fuck was he?"
I could have
I said
swore
the
like
same
I
thing.
even marked him off my fucking list. He was
Yeah,
not even on my radar.
something happened with ESPN where they had him ranked super low or something. Like he was just not showing
And
up.
shit was moving fast because of all
Yeah.
the auto picks.
Because there was a group there, like a group of 5 in a row that were just all auto picks. So between Jose's picks,
Mm-hmm. So I picked, and it was like,
Yeah. Like the end of a free cell game. And
That-
we're done.
Isaiah Pacheco may
Yeah.
be a slicky little pick because Clyde Edwards-Helaire has not fully like been the guy where they're completely confident he's the guy there.
Yeah,
They still keep
I
doing
wanted him.
commitments.
that's who I was gonna take in my next pick.
See, you should have went fucking Madison Pacheco. Fuck Nihal.
I did not think people were going to take Pacheco
Mm.
in round 13, the second pick of round 13. I thought I had time.
Mm.
so that's going to be an interesting pick to look out for as well. Then round 14, again, at this point, people are just filling out whatever roster spot
Yeah,
they
but that
have.
Khalil Herbert little spot
Yeah,
might be nice.
he did work. I want to say last year he filled in some key spots for me when Montgomery was out.
It's Khalil Herbert, Madison, Tony Pollard have proven when the starter goes down, they can perform.
And I think Pollard's now more in the split situation at this point with
Right,
Zeke.
right. Where he has done it so much, they're like, well, we can't sit fucking you. It comes to a point you can't sit talent,
Mhm.
or they will fucking leave. So are we going to use them? Put them in there.
Also, your pick of Daryl Henderson Jr. this late.
Yes. So
Yep.
my thought with that was the whole nobody's on to Cam Akers, but then if Cam Akers isn't the Cam Akers, or they still decide to go to split committee, I'll keep Daryl Henderson on my bench for a little bit and see what happens. Not rushing to start him, but a stash move definitely. Goat got fucking Tyler Bass.
Yeah. That's when I was like, fuck, how did I miss him? I was legit
Yeah,
pissed off.
we all missed him. What the shit?
And then Mel had to pick Zach Wilson. I was going to be hugely disappointed if he picked Zach Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
So Zach Wilson, the MILF Hunter, went to the MILF Hunters.
The MILF Hunters. The MILF.
The MILF Hunters, excuse me. The MILF Hunters.
One other thing. In round 14, Jarvis Landry with pick 161, I think has
Possibly.
the potential to be a big pick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Especially if Michael Thomas doesn't pan out.
Well, they also have that rookie from Ohio State.
Olave.
Yeah. Oil of Olay.
I got a piece of Oil of Olay in a couple, maybe 2 leagues.
And then I thought it was nice that the Kellybot 5000 drafted him Robbie Anderson. Because I think Kellybot, real Kelly, has drafted Robbie Anderson multiple times.
Yes,
Yeah.
because
Multiple times.
he started
Definitely.
the cool hair.
Yes,
Yep.
definitely meets the hair requirement. The owner and starter of cool picks for cool hair.
And then you end the draft. I draft Mr. Irrelevant after hearing Mahoney's rant about not holding 2 quarterbacks in your roster. So I said, fuck it, I'm going to pick up Mac. Not only am I going to pick up a quarterback, I'm going to pick up a quarterback of his local team in Mac Jones.
Even I would not pick up Mac Jones.
I really took Mahoney's rant about picking up a second quarterback to heart. And I agree with him because I've been there, man. I've got 2 studs, 1 starting, 1 on the bench, and it's always a nightmare. They flip
Always
flop.
the wrong one.
Yeah, always putting in the wrong one. Always.
Who? Let me find one of these people. Was it Mel? No, it's not Mel. It might be Matt. Yeah. Okay, Matt. Matt has Aaron Rodgers and Matt Stafford. Good luck each week deciding if you want to start Aaron Rodgers or Matt Stafford.
Well, he's going to
Enjoy
start
that.
Aaron Rodgers all the time, right?
Well, then what do you have Matt
chances are-
Stafford for?
Right. At that point, you don't draft him that high, but that might have been one of his auto picks, to be quite honest with you.
Maybe.
Yeah, we had a guy who got stuck on auto pick, but he accidentally had his thing listed by like the highest points available by the person, not by ADP. So he ended up with 4 quarterback picks in a row.
Oh.
Because it gets to the point where the quarterbacks are at the top, and because his roster maxed out, otherwise he would have ended up with like fucking 8. Like we were all like, what the fuck? It got to the point where nobody else, and he's got like Lamar Jackson, Kyler Murray. Like he doesn't have slouches at fucking quarterback. He's just got studs because they were the highest projected points.
Wild.
So overall, our usual unpredictable draft.
Mm-hmm.
Very wide receiver heavy in the beginning. First quarterback doesn't come off the board till the 3rd round. So there was a lot of the usual shenanigans that goes on in our league. But then right after the draft, we had our first trade.
That was wild. Is that the quickest trade we've ever had?
Ever had.
Yeah, because a trade before a waiver wire pickup.
Yeah. It was Hunter Renfrow for Chase Edmonds.
Which I described as mid for mid.
Yeah.
I've had both of those fuckers on my team at numerous points in my career.
Now he says, I spit on your trade.
Another couple of guys that'll get you like 3 touchdowns over the course of 2 weeks, and then nothing for the rest of the season. All right, well, it is getting late. So, Mahoney, what can we expect going into week 1?
I am not prepared for this. What am I? Is it the schedule? What are we doing?
Yes. We're looking at the matchups.
Week 1 matchups. We have got myself and Matt. Matt projected to beat me 109-99, but I think my team is underprojected. I think I'm in a very Jose type situation where the app is going to think my team is worse than it actually is.
Exactly. Yeah. I love when the app tells me, "Oh, your team sucks. You're not going to do good." And they don't, you know what I mean? Like you got guys they're not really taking into consideration the possibilities. They're playing some of these guys low. But come game day, they will outperform what they are. If they can hit what, like, you know, you have in your mind when you draft some of these guys of where they could be, your projections can eat my ass.
But
Right.
To Mahoney's earlier point about the 2 quarterback thing, if you look at Sharks' projected leaders, 1 and 2 are Aaron Rodgers and Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I just don't get it. I had 2 quarterbacks the first year I played, and even without some internet person being like, "Hey, you shouldn't draft it," I was just like, "What am I doing? Why am I doing this?" I had 2 quarterbacks. I had 2 tight ends. I was like, "Oh, what if somebody gets hurt? I got to have a backup." And I was like, "Fuck that. I don't need a backup. I need the best available value I can get.
Now.
So I can either put it in my lineup or send it to somebody else."
Yeah.
Right. So when that guy gets hurt, I got value on my bench to trade for what I need.
Yep.
Because somebody else may have Aaron Rodgers and Matthew Stafford and trying to figure out what the fuck they're going to do. And maybe they'll trade one of them away.
And then I can't tell you how many times somebody in our league has sent me a trade of like, "Hey, do you want my backup quarterback for like your wide receiver 2?" I'm like, "No." Because I can get, like, if I give you my wide receiver 2 and I slot in one of my other wide receivers, I'm going to lose like 7 points a week doing that. And then I can head to the waiver wire and get a quarterback off of that pile of junk that scores 5 points less than your quarterback 2. So why would I take your quarterback 2 for my wide? Like, why would I do that? Like, no thanks.
Yeah. And like, if I got a guy like Herbert, Josh Allen, Russell Wilson, like, there's no thought of who I'm starting.
Right.
And
so
if that guy goes down, it's going to be hard to replace him no matter who your backup is.
Here's the thing, and it could be just superstition on my part or just years of playing and seeing it happen so many times. There's always a devastating injury week 1, week 2, week 3, like somebody who you don't expect to go down. Like one time we lost Brady week 1. Running backs have gone down. Big time running backs have gone down week 1. And then, you know, new faces and new places, you don't know what you're going to get. Like Russell Wilson's going to do well in Denver, but it could be really, really well, or it could just be okay. Right? Like you're not quite sure what you're going to get there. Then you have your rookies, like not your rookies, but your second year guys like Tua and Trevor Lawrence. Are they going to take the next step up? Jalen Hurts, who's in his 3rd year, is he finally going to come around and be what they want him to be in Philly? Things like that. So it's those first couple of weeks I could kind of understand maybe holding on to just kind of see how things shake out, and then going from there.
Yeah, I guess my counterpoint to that would be I would rather stash my bench with players that might have explosive 3 weeks that everybody is then salivating over to trade away. You know, like I'd rather have a bunch of people flashing that I can be like, "Look what I got," and go out and get what I need, rather than hold on to a bunch of people that maybe I'll need if somebody gets hurt, you know? But to your point around week 1 always has devastating injuries, I this year was like, maybe I throw week 1 so I get a high waiver pick so that I can pick up whoever is the top waiver person, because somebody's going to have a devastating injury in week 1.
Somebody's going down somewhere.
Like, there's going to be some mid-tier running back who's going to be elevated to RB1 because some guy got hurt, and everybody's going to be trying to get him, and you score 60 points week 1? Like, not always the worst thing.
Wow.
Happens a lot. All right, so then we got Lee playing his first official game against GOAT.
That's beautiful. Not planned, not by design, by the way.
Not by design. And they are projected 104 for GOAT, 104 for Lee.
Fucking wild.
Goat and Lee have to. Well, no, I can't say that. I said they have to watch the game together, but you're not getting Lee to watch football.
Lee's not gonna watch football.
Sit Lee down for NFL Red Zone for an entire Sunday.
Imagine he watches it and he fucking loves it.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna make him watch football, that's what you make him watch.
Red Zone. That's
be pretty wild. Tito, you've got Mary, so you have the difficult situation of either you lose week 1 or you have to beat Nice's wife. It's always awkward.
And remember,
you're projected at 103, Mary at 101, so another close one.
Yeah, all these the first 3 weeks are in division games, so these kind of like set the tone
for the head bumping to come.
And the Kelly bot
play 3
picks
times
up
this year.
Look at Kelly bot go.
Kelly bot gets Vetter, and Kelly bot projected to win 105 to 101.
Wow.
He's up there with the high. Not a bad team. Not a bad team.
No.
It just goes to show you what can happen when you have number 1 pick and you let the computer pick.
It's a little sad because I honestly do think that this is the best team that Kelly would have had. Like, this is the best team that he's ever had, and he doesn't even get to play it.
Yeah, but if he drafted himself, he wouldn't have had this team, likely.
Very true. Very true. And then after that, we got Jose. You get Tad. You're projected to win 104 to 102. 103, I guess, if you round it up.
It doesn't matter.
Another close one.
It's all just fucking
They're all
splitting
just made
hairs. We're all just trying to do our best out here, right?
That's right.
I
And
like my team. I'm ready.
Oh, yeah. You got a good team. Nyes gets the MILF Hunters.
Ooh.
And the projected highest scoring game of the week.
Let's fucking go.
112 to 110.
Mel
So
asks
quarterbacks.
a very interesting question in the chat. So nobody can trade with Kellybot? What's the situation here?
No, you can trade with Kellybot. Kellybot is an AI. It's a robot. It can do whatever you want.
Okay. I mean, so I guess send some requests and see what happens.
I was gonna say you can try.
It's not automatic.
I don't know if it's going to accept any of them, but go for it.
Trades are always on the table.
I'm going to be interested in the moves Lee makes during the course of his season.
Lee was so distraught when he found out he has to set a lineup every week. He thought he was done. He didn't even come to the draft, and he thought it was over. He thought his involvement had ended.
He got his wish, though. He was sleeping.
He was at 1:00 on a Monday.
I mean, it was Labor Day.
Yeah, but it sounds better when you just say 1:00 on a Monday.
Sounds like a real alcoholic energy. All right, that'll take us to the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
Final thoughts, Commissioner Tito, the champ.
All right, so I say the same thing every year. Patience, patience, patience. Not everything's going to go according to plan week 1. Not everything's going to go according to plan to week 2. Just make your moves, watch what's out there, see the trends, and it'll drive you forward.
Yeah. Keep hope alive. It's a game of inches.
That's what I should have just said, right?
It's a game of inches and fucking decimal points is what we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? In the end, it don't really matter. But holding that belt's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
You know, it's extra cool holding it 2 years in a row. But goddamn, it's been so long, I forget what it even feels like. I think I don't know if I can even do it again. You know, I don't know if I can even hold a belt. All right, Mahoney, what you got?
My advice for Lee is time is of the essence, Lee. You have to act now. There is no time to wait. You need to be immediate and be on these things. If somebody's not working out week 1, drop them. Drop them. Next guy. The plan is out the window. As we all know, you make a plan, you get to battle, it's done, it's gone, it's out the window. So whatever plan you got, Lee, which I know is nothing, throw it out. Drop your whole team, put them on waivers, start fresh.
Lee, look ahead and find out who Trey Lance is playing week 8.
Why? What happens to Trey Lance on week 8?
He's going to start in front of Kyler Murray, who's going to be busy playing Call of Duty.
Oh.
All right, Jose, final thoughts.
I want to see whose risky pick comes out on top.
Mm-hmm.
See who took some chances on some rookies. See if these rookies come through. The people who took the chances on the quarterbacks, see how that pans out, because there's two sets of minds where you take a quarterback. Some people will never take a quarterback early no matter what. And some people are willing to take the dice, take that stud quarterback early and see what you can get. And again, waiver wire, that's where I live.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, because that's the other flip side. When you don't have a strong bench and you're not paying attention to who's out there and people are getting scooped, how do you survive?
Yeah, I didn't even really need a defense, but it's just like, it's week 1. Let's see what's on the waiver wire. What can I pick up? This fucking guy that I drafted in the 16th round isn't going to matter.
The Browns defense, they're no slouches. They can put up some numbers.
I feel like they ended last year pretty strong.
My advice to
Miles
anyone playing fantasy football this year, in our league and beyond, if one of your top guys is in a bunch of commercials, be worried. Because that has been my experience for like 3 seasons now. Christian McCaffrey starts getting commercials, and his body breaks down, and has for a few seasons in a row now. I don't know. Just keep an eye. Because then if they're doing commercials, they got other shit going on. Putting a lot more pressure on themselves.
A lot of Mahomes commercials started coming out. His play was dipping a little bit.
I did not. I got the Mahomes skins on Fortnite, and I didn't realize I really liked the suit version until I got it. I did not know it was a fucking ketchup bottle suit, and he has a ketchup bottle back bling because he's nothing if not a 4-year-old boy. All right, well, that'll do it. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to Panels on Pages on YouTube at youtube.com/panelsonpages. Pop Fantasy Football live every week, Wednesday at 9. Chat with us in real time. And also check out the live Panels on Pages podcast every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Shit, we did the draft on Monday. Popcast last night. Pop Fantasy Football tonight. It's been a busy podcast week, you guys. So check them out. Make sure to download Pop Fantasy Football on your favorite podcast app and check out our merch at merch.panelsonpages.com and join the Pop Discord at discord.panelsonpages.com where you can get involved in the discussion in the Pop Fantasy Football channel. Lastly, we will leave you with some parting words from the late, great John Madden. And this week, I will kill for you, Megan Thee Stallion. And that is it for Pop Fantasy Football for this week. On behalf of Tito Cruz, Dan Mahoney, Jose Guzman, and myself, Jason Nyes. Thank you for joining us for the Pop Fantasy Football 2022 Draft Recap. Good luck to everyone in this league and beyond, and we'll see you next week.
ESPN, the global leader in sports. The whole thing's fucked.